University of Washington. The final rotation coming up, and we're still trying to get some scores for you from rotation 3, but coming up, it will be Michigan on the beam, Washington on the floor, and Carly Baumann, team captain, two-time Big Ten champ. And these are your Women's Gymnastics Weekly Award winners, and she was the co-event Specialist of the Week. Put together a fantastic performance. There's some dynamic athletes to the left and right of her.
Absolutely. Full of talent, artistry. There's just so much to watch. You just want to keep up with everything, you know?
So for Carly, that's her first co-event Specialist of the Week in her career, and the first for any Michigan gymnast this season. She has already earned her degree in biology, health, and society, and she's earning her master's of molecular, cellular, and developmental biology. So she will be doing some fantastic things when her gymnastics career is over. As we showed you earlier, her mom, Kim, in the stands, along with Carly's 3 aunties. So Sophie Parenti, the 3rd time today, she is in the leadoff spot for the Michigan Wolverines. The freshman out of Los Angeles, California. The bars, the beam, and the floor.
Sophie has been an absolute rock star, and as we've mentioned throughout this whole meet, she is the leadoff on every event in the all-around, and it's super important to have a strong leadoff, and you can see why she has been in this position. She's very calm, even field athlete, keeps a level head with lay series. She is slightly off-center, but covers it up well.
Consistency needed from that leadoff spot. I would imagine even more so on the beam.
Yes, because beam is definitely the make or break event for sure. And you really want to set the tone to have a successful event lineup. Little off center, has to take a small wobble. That'll be a little deduction right there. Dismount, round off 1.5, but nails that landing. Sticky feet.
And right there, that is called doing your job. We mentioned saving it a little bit. Was able to have a beautiful landing. Should have a nice score in the leadoff spot for Michigan. Caitlin McWilliams, the 5'4" junior from Littleton, Colorado. Now on the floor for Washington.
There's a reason why she starts off this event. She has such a fun routine to watch, high in energy, funky jazz blues routine. And sit back and enjoy.
She looks like she's having fun when she's on the floor. There's good gymnasts and there's good dancers.
Yes.
Caitlin is both.
The floor side is truly the stage, right? So it's your time to shine.
This is where you see the personalities of the gymnasts come out.
Double pike. drop moments.
Team fired up. That was a gorgeous pass for her to end that routine.
She is an exceptional floor performer and had a really breakthrough year last year. Now she's a 3-eventer. Here's a look at her first pass. Again, that Rudy into a layout step out. Beautifully done, and I love her little shrug to the side, like, yeah, you saw that. And here's her last pass. Perfect control. And just the ending was so much fun to watch. Again, a very I love her watching her on the floor. She's a great performer.
The shrug. Like Michael Jordan back in the day, just putting his hands in the air like, what can you do?
Yeah, what can you do?
So now up on the beam for Michigan, Kaylee Boozer. At a 9.85 on the beam last week.
Beautiful combination right there. She does a hitch kick into a front aerial. And watch this switch leap into a standing switch split. Beautifully done. That is very difficult to do from a standing position. She really hits that 180 angle that the judges look for. Beautiful series. She's such an elegant athlete to watch on the balance beam. They've been really focusing on details, and you can truly see it, especially on this event right here. Dismount, back handstring to the gainer layout full off the side, and I love that you could see that she gets extra height just jumping off of one leg into that full. That dismount really rises, and that was a great routine. Look at that lift. Oh, so good. And nails that landing.
As Flocky says, she's one of her favorites. Elegant athlete to watch, and certainly displaying that on the beam. Olivia Oppegard up next for Washington.
Rudy into a straddle jump. She had a little too much power. She was able to lunge out of that.
Scores are updating on your right. And that is the latest score that is accurate.
Switch ring into a switch half.
Three events last week, and Olivia increased her score total on all three events from week 1 to week 2. And her coach saying she's doing 3 events and she is killing it. She is on fire.
Here's a look at that second pass, and just watch her face. You can see Coach Jeffrey cheering her on. And Jessa likes it as well.
Coach saying that Olivia's stepping up and is Great teammate and has emerged as a leader on this team for the Huskies. So Jenna Mulligan, 5'6" grad student on the beam now for Michigan.
Cat leap into a front aerial, into that back handspring. Beautiful connection, and also very unique as well. And I know we mentioned it earlier, but just her consistently being in that alternate spot and finally broke into lineup last year and just worked so hard to finally, from a walk-on, and finally earning that scholarship. So it's cool that she came back for a 5th year.
She won a share of the beam title against 20th ranked Georgia last season, so has put together some good performances.
Slightly off balance on that side aerial, but she held on to it. Dismount, back handspring tuck 1.5. Little under rotated, had to take that step back. A good routine. Here's another look at that unique series. Hitch kick into a front aerial to a back handspring. Just flowing from one skill to the next. Beautifully done. Another look at that dismount. She was a little under rotated on this, so she had to take that step back.
So the senior from Fishers, Indiana. And the score has come in a high one on the beam. Kaylee Boozer with a 9.9. And on the floor in the leadoff spot for Washington. We love the routine from Caitlin McWilliams. She earned a 9.850. Taylor Russin up next for Washington. Grad student from Redwood City, California.
Russin on the floor.
Season high 9.775 on the floor in the home meet, the quad meet at Washington.
Beautiful. Jump ring pull. Double pike to start off.
See the updated score in the bottom right. Michigan here in rotation 4 with a commanding lead.
Beautiful combination pass, and you see how she just moves into a dance element to take out any extra steps she would have taken. Love a little strut moment into the routine.
Strut moment?
Yes.
I love that.
No better way to close it out than flashing the dub sign.
You work that into every routine.
Here's another look at that first pass. Double pike.
Your girlfriend, she's upset. She's going off about something that you said. She does
It's that front combination pass, and look how she just steps into, does a little ring kick into her choreography. That just shows how seasoned she is as an athlete. On to another seasoned athlete, another senior.
CC Moore on the beat.
JC Moore. She shared the beam title last week with JC Ranger. They both earned a 9.9.
Back handspring layout, step out, nails it. JC is an athlete that's a ray of sunshine. She's just always constantly smiling. You can always see a bounce in her step. Beautiful front toss. And she also just keeps passionately working towards her goals, working hard every day on every event that she competes on. And you mentioned she tied with her teammate Jay-Z, and Jay-Z actually mentioned that JC is the person to go to when the team needs a pick-me-up, because she's very free-spirited. You know, there's ups and downs throughout the season, and JC is the one to go to when the team morale needs a pick-me-up. Dismount, round off 1.5.
Stuck it.
Stays on her heels to fight for it. Let's go. Absolutely.
We talked about winning that beam title with a 9.9 last week at Michigan State. She stuck both of her landings. Also earned a 9.850 on the bars with a beautiful landing. So she's got that down. Scores coming through. Mulligan with a 9.775 for Michigan in the third spot on the beam. Taylor Russin in the third spot on the floor for Washington's lineup with a 9.8. So a strong score coming from Russin. This is Kira Bolden.
First pass, double pike. Beautifully done. And this is another athlete that had to step up and get into the lineup after missing a whole year of action with a knee injury.
Here during floor. And a 9.8 on the floor in week 1.
Good combination pass. This is actually an athlete that has very high expectations for herself. So starting off slow, again, she has power for days. So we'll get to see her elevate her skills and increase that difficulty.
Kira Bolden, the 5'3" sophomore. Coach says she's finding her groove.
Another look at that first pass. Double pike. Good amplitude. That combination pass. Front, lay to front full. She was a little loose in her knees on that front layout. But again, we are seeing that in slow motion.
So Jay-Z Ranger up next, but some big scores coming in. We mentioned the 9.9 for Boozer and a 9.9 for JC Vore as well. Ranger, as we mentioned, going to share the beam title at Michigan State, tied that career high of 9.9.
Beautiful series to start off. And asking her what her favorite part of being a Wolverine is. Beautiful front toss. She just loves the team spirit, just everywhere they go when they're traveling, just hearing go blue in the airport. So just the team camaraderie, the team spirit. Difficult dismount. She did have to take a big step out of that. That's the one thing about having a double tuck dismount. It's high risk, so you really do need to hone in on that landing, and she unfortunately had to pay for it today. But it is a very rare dismount. You don't see this often in the NCAA. She almost over-rotated it a little bit, so she had to take that big step back, but good routine.
I mean, she is just a freshman. It's incredible when you look at the potential for her. She started her very first routine week 1 on bars with a fall, but after that, 3 more events, she nailed them all. Her coach says she is a competitor. So Mary McDonough, 5'7" sophomore from Tennessee.
Very intricate music and choreography to start off. Front pass. Beautifully done into that layout step out. Beautiful last pass, front handspring into that front double full. And I just loved watching her face after she nailed it. You could just tell.
There was an extra loud cheer from her team. Yeah, Mary knows she killed that one. Feels good about it.
That was a difficult last pass, too. Watch her face when she landed. So this is an E skill, usually what you see at the top of gymnast routines, but look at that. Just smiles and cheers all around.
Jessa Hansen Parker in her first year as the head coach of Washington.
There's just no better feeling when you nail landings like that.
I would not know. You're just going to have to tell me all about it today. So a 9-9 coming through for Mary McDonough. So an impressive score on the floor for the Husky. And Carly Bauman, a grad student, on the beam for the Wolverines.
Speaking with Coach Bev, she mentioned how truly amazing Carly has been. She watched her grow from this, nervous freshman into a super confident individual. Definitely still on the quieter side, Bev said, but leads by example. I just love watching her artistry throughout her events that she competes on. So that was a side summy, but she does it with straight legs. So it kind of looks like a side aerial, but again, another very unique skill you don't see every day. Gainer pike off the end, nails that landing.
She has a career high in beam, 9.950. The team captain, first team All Big Ten last season.
Another look at that dismount. It's a gainer pike off the end of the beam. Look at that form, toes pointed all the way until her feet hit the mat.
So the anchor for Washington, So Jay-Z Ranger winning the all-around. That is in the books, 39.150. So congratulations going out to Jay-Z. Her career high in the all-around, 39.325. But she's now broken 39 2 weeks in a row. With a 9.850 last week on the floor. Very clean, ton of energy.
First pass. Nails that landing. Was able to stay in bounds too. If she would have lunged out, she would have had to flirt with that line. But not for the upperclassmen. He's now a seasoned performer and athlete. Right out of that landing. Gearing up for the last pass. Rudy into a stretch jump.
A little extra shimmy shake at the end of it for good measure.
And that's why she's in the anchor spot.
3 passes for Ennis.
Here's her first
gymnast to watch this year.
The front handspring, double front pull. She adds a front pike out of it, so leaves her just a little bit of room, but she nailed that landing. Didn't even have to take a lunge out of it. Last pass, stretch jump. Kind of like Superwoman. Getting all the height. Look at Coach Jess's face.
Yeah, it's got to be cool for Jessa Hansen-Parker, too, to compete against Bev Plotke, who is the legend for Michigan. First year head coach Jessa Hansen-Parker, Bev Plotke in her 36th year. And Hansen-Parker was an athlete, gymnast for Iowa, so she was an athlete competing against Michigan back when she was a student athlete at Iowa. Says she has the absolute utmost respect.
Well, on Friday, Oregon State hit 197 for the second time this year. They're actually 0.2 ahead of pace as they head in to their beam routines. The third-ranked team in the country on beam, Oregon State. Their highs of 49.575 a couple of weeks ago against Auburn, averaging 49.3. And Sophia Esposito getting some final counsel from Tanya Chaplin. Esposito, sophomore from Melville, New York. She had a 9.775 on vault. She'll lead it off, then Buckner and Lech, McMillan, Gonzalez, and Carey.
So their last away meet at Auburn, they went lights out to get their season high, 49.575. And it was a ruckus, distracted, loud crowd. And Tanya asked them about it, and no one said, they were like, we couldn't even hear them.
They're in their bubble.
They're in their bubble. It's the mark of a strong beam team, is that their mental preparation is truly one of a kind, or I guess 3 of a kind, with that ranked number 3 in the country. And Sophia, right away, this combination here, one of the most difficult in college gymnastics, the split to the switch leap to the switch split to the layout step out.
Looks so easy.
It's effortless. I botched even describing it, let alone how she nailed it right there. And it's so difficult that it gets her almost all the bonus that she needs. So she just does the layout here. Gorgeous flight series. She'll do her full turn, the requirement, and then she'll dismount because that first series there gets her so much bonus. And then also this double twist. Watch her height. Excellent.
I love it. Sophia Esposito leading off their beam rotation.
She's one who tumbles off the end of the beam like that to get that height. So here's that 3-move combination. The switch leap to the switch split leap off of 2 feet, and then the layout step out. Just so clean, so smooth. And here's that double twist. A little, I don't like how far from the end of the beam she was, but she's so high. Nails the landing, but the staggered feet there, that is a deduction.
Career high is 9.9 last year in week 3. Last couple of meets, missed that by 1/4 of a tenth.
And Caitlin Williams ends with a very nice double pike for the Huskies. Floor is an event where I think they have much more potential than we've seen in their scores. Oregon State tends to be a little bit of a higher scoring environment on floor, so we'll see if the Huskies can benefit from that.
Huskies in the lower right. And Olivia Buckner, who exhibitioned on vault, getting ready to go second in the competitive beam lineup. She had improved every meet until Friday. A couple of meets ago, had a career high tying 9.9. Then on Friday, a 9.75, matching her lowest this year. So Buckner, good beam worker, looking for a bit of a bounce back. Still awaiting the score of Sophia Esposito.
Olivia has a very calm presence on beam. Very steady.
It was a 9.875 for Esposito. And that's the 3rd consecutive 9.875 she's posted. Very solid. 1/4 of a tenth off her career high. Just what you need getting on base in that leadoff role.
Yeah. And 97.5 is an awesome place to start. It would be wonderful to see the scores just continue to rise from there. Flight series coming up. Back handspring layout step out. Beautiful.
They're magical on beam, this team.
And they have so many different styles. She's so fluid. Some gymnasts are really sharp and aggressive, and she is just the same speed, so calm. Good position on the ring jump.
Riverton, Utah native Olivia Buckner, 5-time USA Gymnastics Utah State champion.
Side aerial. All that's left is her dismount here. She does a big handspring into her 1.5. Got to get some push off the beam to find the landing.
Yeah, she did.
Nice job holding on to it. Beautiful routine.
Her career high's at 9.9.
Yeah, really solid competitor. Here's this dismount. We talk about it's hard to generate momentum out of that. Does just enough to nail the landing and celebrates accordingly. Really great job.
Good start to their beam lineup for Esposito and Buckner. And here's Olivia Opegard and her floor routine for the Huskies.
Olivia, one who has 2 passes, so has some extra leaps there. You saw that Torchete ring half. Has great artistry. Jessa Hansen-Parker said they really work hard on her floor presence, but presence in sport is something that's genetic. Her aunt is Michelle Kwan. Her dad was a Olympic medal winning figure skater. She lacks a little bit of the high-powered tumbling, but you can get as much bonus and difficulty out of those leaps as you can from the big tumbling.
Olivia Opegard, Washington, floor lineup, 43rd in the country, averaging 48.78. Again, they've got 7 gymnasts out with injury, and so they're only competing 9 gymnasts tonight. Lauren Letch going through her final mental choreography after the 9.825 for Olivia Buckner. 3/4 of a tenth off her career high. a season-low 9.7 on Friday, returning to the lineup this year after missing all of last year because of a heart issue. Has twice registered 9.9 this year.
Off the bat, difficult front to back, front aerial to the back tuck. Excellent continuity. It's so important that the gymnast doesn't move, but also, or doesn't stop moving between, but also can't have any bobbles or foot movements. And she really is the exemplar for how to do the front to back connections. Also these leaps beyond 180, just stunning.
And that ring leap, you can see her heel getting up near that ponytail.
Absolutely. And to do that on balance beam, just so challenging to take your eyes off. Her beam really is such that you could snap a picture at any point. Her toe point is exquisite, great extension.
And such great flow.
And such beautiful flow, and so great. Friday's beam, you know, 9.7 would be fine for a lot of people, but that's low for Lauren Letch. So good to see her get back to where we expect her to be. Watch the extension on that split jump, and then the ring. Beautiful. And just so inspirational to have her back in the lineup.
Same heart condition as Olympic swimming legend Katie Ledecky. POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. Reduced volume of blood returns to your heart after you stand up from lying down. Lightheadedness, accelerated heart rate. That was her last year. Didn't compete at all and didn't know if she'd ever compete again.
What a remarkable story of resilience for Lauren Letch. Jamila, watch her pike Jaeger. Oh no! It was, I saw her nail it throughout warm-up, and that pike Jaeger, you often see the Jaeger in the straddle position. That is only worth a D. The pike Jaeger worth an E, and so the reason she hopped on the bar there is because she intended to connect the Jaeger right to the overshoot.
This is Jamelia Duffus, sophomore from Kingston, Jamaica for Alaska Anchorage.
You can tell she has great potential and has the chops on bars. When she puts it together, that is a big score.
Yeah, I believe it. Transfer from Talladega. And now we get set for Jennifer McMillan's beam routine. 3 weeks ago, she matched her career high with a 9.9. Since then, has put up a pair of solid 9.85s. Lauren Letch, a 9.85. Back on the beam, pardon the pun, after the season low 9.7 on Friday for Letch.
I love a good beam pun.
Don't we all?
She'll also do a front to back connection here. Front toss to the swing down. So smooth. Again, with the different styles and type of beam workers. She's not one who you see doing huge deep breaths or talking to herself. She just has the mental cues. Just a solo switch leap there. Very pretty.
Born in the Dominican Republic, moved to Charlotte, North Carolina.
On that double stag ring where both your front and back leg is bent, I still want to see a 180 position. She was a little bit shy, but awesome. This Beaver Beam lineup, they really are special.
And when you consider the fact that her club coaches once told her that when she got to college she should focus on other events, and here she is in the 4th slot on the number 3 team in the country on beam.
And with a phenomenal hairstyle as well to match their pink out with the heart. She's just an exceptional beam worker also on bars, and has the ability to be on vault and floor. That's how competitive these lineups are.
And that's nothing against her club coaches. They were probably advising her what they thought was best. Hey, focus on other events and you can excel on them. And here they've asked her to be a beam worker, and she's excelling here.
Yep, Southeastern Gym is her club from Charlotte. They have produced so many phenomenal college athletes, and Jennifer McMillan certainly among them. Also, a business administration major, minoring in French and Spanish.
And Spanish.
So impressive.
Sydney Gonzalez getting ready to go. Gonzalez, another one who had her season end because of injury. She was in the first 5 meets last year, then had a ruptured Achilles tendon. So they're happy to have her along with Lauren Letch back in the lineup. And Sydney's gotten better each meet. 9.775s each of the first 2 weeks, then a 9.8, followed by consecutive 9.925s.
Alyssa Manley there from Alaska Anchorage. Beautiful bar routine, has great form. And Kier Bolden and the Huskies, all the last 2 scores over 9.8.
Alaska Anchorage upper right. And Manley, the junior from Albuquerque. And in the pink leotard for Oregon State is Sydney Gonzalez, graduate student from Newport Beach, California.
Here's her front to back, front aerial to the back tuck. She is so good at making that connection and finding that stick. And that connection, so great to have both her and Lauren Letch back in the beam lineup. The senior veteran experience they have in this lineup. Why they're scoring so high.
For McMillan, it was a 9.875, and that was a quarter of a tenth shy of her career high.
Side aerial coming up in connection. It looked like she was right on, but gotta really finish those positions. Switch leap to split jump connection. Good split positions. And she'll do her front gainer full off the side. Off the side here as well, just like we saw from Lauren Letch. And just the tiniest hop in place, but 5 for 5 so far for the Beavers, as we've come to expect.
With Jade Carey to follow.
Not a bad closer.
Sydney Gonzalez will await her score.
One of many sister combinations that have competed at Oregon State. Her sister Lexi preceded Sydney on the team.
Sydney's club coach, Whitney Watson, a former Beaver gymnast, primarily a vaulter, 2007 through 2010.
Tanya's talking to Jade right now about the connection in her flight series, which Jade reintroduced on Friday. She'll do the front aerial into the back handspring layout. If the front aerial's on, she makes a lot of adjustments in real time as well.
She loves to tinker, doesn't she?
She loves to tinker. The best can do that in real time. You know your gymnastics so well that she can make those adjustments.
Look at all the 9.975s you have. Remember the judges, and there are a pair of them in these meets. They judge in half a tenth increments. So in each one of these cases, she got a 10 from one of the 2 judges and a 9.95 from the other one. And it's happened 3 times on beam.
That one at Auburn, she said she felt a different level of pressure because the entire lineup not only had nailed it before her, they'd all stuck their landings, and so she said she felt even more pressure. And to get a 10 from one judge on the road at Auburn, really impressive.
9.75 for Gonzalez, and now Jade Carey. Let's watch her do her thing, seeking her first perfect 10 this year.
She's the country's leader on this event.
9.975s each of the last 3 meets.
Coming up here is that front aerial. We'll see if she connects it into the back handspring layout. Beautiful connection and a flawless landing. Because she did that difficult connection, she'll just do a little bit of an easier series. The leaps there, she took out the switch half in favor of just the split jump. And a gainer full away from yet another flawless routine by Jade Carey, but unfortunately takes a hop back on that gainer full. So in my estimation, won't be a 10. You want to see her absorb that gainer full to nail in the stick. But yeah, I mean, how fortunate are we to be in the time of Jade Carey? You could see she came up and had a slight hip adjustment on that, but does such a good job covering it up. And, you know, I don't know if the judges are being super picky. I don't know how much her feet actually lifted up and moved, or if it was just her pulling her heels together, which the gymnasts are required to do that.
Everybody in the building thought she was going to get a 10 on Friday, and she didn't get it. Got a 9.975.
I've seen it that maybe some people think maybe she bends her arms a little bit on her back handspring, so she goes 9.9 today.
9.9 even.
9.9 even
today.
Okay, we'll take a closer look at this gainer full. Perfect in the air, and yeah, I do think the feet lifted up enough. That was not a stick in the old days of the college stick.
The 9.9 is her low this year.
That's preposterous, but that's just Jade Carey things.
49.325 is half a tenth off of what they did on Friday, and the 49.325 is 5/1,000th shy of their average. So the number 3 team in the country, not going to damage their average. It just won't go up.
This is Mia Heather in exhibition doing a gorgeous front toss to swing down, just like we saw from Jennifer McMillan. Watch the extension in her toe point. There's great flexibility in her ankle.
Wolf turn, sophomore from San Francisco, has never been in the competitive lineup. She exhibitioned on January 17th here, had a 9.85, and again at home 3 nights ago, a 9.65.
Switch half to the split. To be good connection. You know, 15 of their 24 routines tonight are from seniors. So next year, these underclassmen are really going to be called upon for the Beavers, and Mia Heather will slot in beautifully to this beam lineup. There's her pike, and nails the landing. Emily Ennis, one of the best floor workers in the country. Such a powerful tumbler. She won the NCAA regional title on floor last year. Coach Jeffrey, assistant Langenstein in the corner there, is their floor coach choreographer. Watch the stretch jump out of this Rudy, just to show you how much power she has, that she can just bound out of that. Beautiful job.
And she celebrates with her Huskies teammates. Washington now part of the Big Ten. And again, ranked 35th in the country coming into this one, a team that's beset by injuries to 7 different gymnasts. And now Sophia Kaludis, a freshman from Huntington, New York, getting ready for her exhibition routine on beam. 3-time New York State champion, 2-time regional champion. She's never competed. But in week 1 in Oceanside, California, she was told that morning she'd be in the beam lineup because Sophia Esposito wasn't going to be able to go. And just before the rotation, it was determined that Esposito could go. Kaludis was warmed up and ready, but handled it like a veteran when she found out she wasn't in.
How many teams have 2 Sophias from New York on them that are beam studs?
We've already seen Sophia Esposito. This is Sophia Kaludis.
2 switch leaps.
To music from Cage the Elephant, which I love. Cigarette Daydreams.
At home, they get to pick their beam songs. On the road, it's typically whatever the home team wants to do. Some like to distract the opposing team, excuse me. Very smooth thus far. A little bit of leg bend on that series. That's what we call a built-in deduction. Can be up to 2/10, both on the back handspring and the layout, and unfortunately off to the side on that side aerial.
Learning moment for Sophia Kalutis. As you mentioned, she's someone they're going to need next year with the graduation of so many athletes.
That half twisting split jump done sideways. You don't often see it jumping sideways because it's way harder. You are unable to spot the beam as well. Good height on the 1.5. Lacked a little bit of rotation, but great potential to continue the run of awesome beam workers at Oregon State.
And they have had those under Tanya Chaplin, to be sure. And again, ranked third in the country on beam coming into this one. 49.325. Again, that's 5/1000th off of their average of 49.33. And their next 4 meets will be on the road. Next week they will be at the Denver Quad. That'll be on Sunday. Ball State, Denver, and Texas Women's University will be there. And then in a couple of weeks at the Metroplex Challenge in Fort Worth, same site as the NCAAs. Then they'll be at the Stanford Quad coming up on February the 28th, Stanford, Cal, and UC Davis. And then for good measure, the following week on the road at San Jose State. So with national qualifying scores getting ready to come out, 3 of your scores have to be from road meets. And these next 4 weeks really important for Oregon State.
Yeah, when the national qualifying rankings come out, they will drop quite a bit in the rankings from where they are right now because of the low road scores that they have, or the one low road score that first week, the 195.775. Now, I have no doubt they will go to the Denver Quad and get right back up into the 197s where they have been. But it's always interesting to see how dramatically the rankings adjust from the averages that they are calculated on right now to the NQS that will happen when as each team gets to their 6 scores.
Oregon State leading by 9/10 of a point. That's equivalent to about a 10-point lead in football. And with 147.775 right now, they need 49.225 on floor to hit 197 for the second time in 4 days and for the 3rd time this year. And they're getting ready to entertain the crowd in between rotations. Jade and her teammates.
Hard to believe there's just 2 home meets left for these fans to enjoy Jade Carey.
You mentioned it earlier, Lisa. There are certain times when you have to be in the moment and realize you are seeing something remarkable that will be talked about for a long time. Rather like Travis Pisano, the top overall pick for the Beavers in the Major League Baseball draft last year. That young woman right there, Jade Carey, will look back and say, we saw her do what she did.
Absolutely. I heard someone talking about it out while I was getting lunch today and said, oh, I'm leaving early to take my daughter to the meet tonight because she wants to see Jade Carey. It's a really special thing. And the rise of NIL, good or bad, there's a lot of opinions on all the sides, but what it's done for college gymnastics is allowed these elites to extend their careers and come to college when oftentimes, you know, very few of them have lucrative marketing opportunities, and elite even, but in college, they've got so much opportunity and potential now, which is why you see the likes, you know, Suni Lee was at Auburn, you've got Jordan Childs, you have Leanne Guan, you have Kalia Lincoln, you have Joss Robertson, you have so many Olympians. That's just the U.S. Olympians that, you know, college gymnastics has done an awesome job both of marketing their Olympians as well, leading to the rise in attendance.
That they have. We have the Gold Over America Tour led by Simone Biles, and Jade Carey was on that tour after the Olympics, and the Golden Girls winning it in Paris. She's part of this Oregon State team. Beavers need a 49.225 to hit 197 in that final rotation.